Luton Town have signed Millenic Alli from Exeter, and it's a fee thought to be in the region of £1.5 million, although it's officially undisclosed as Luton Town do best. This is an interesting transfer once again. However, a lot of fans are quite rightly saying, why are we signing players from League One? Are we building some sort of League One super team? I like to look on the positive side of things. I think this is a real prospect, a player that can run with the ball, a player that likes a shot, and his underlying stats show he's having a good season. He's posting good numbers, and he's overperforming in an Exeter team that is really struggling in League One at the moment. The most frustrating thing for me is, why are we announcing signings at 9:30 at night? I was trying to get an early night, and then this drops and it gets you all wired. So you end up looking at YouTube compilations, you look at his underlying numbers, you read up on his Wikipedia page where it says that he's a player that plays for League One Luton Town. Some people are very quick to the old Wikipedia edits, aren't they, these days? Right, but what are my thoughts about Millenic Alli joining Luton Town? As I said briefly, I'm excited. I think he gives us a really good option on either flank. Yes, I believe that he's been discussed and described in the Luton Town press release that he is primarily off the left-hand side. However, having watched quite a few of his highlight packages and previous matches from Exeter, it looks like he has played on the right a fair whack. And he also plays on the left. He's a two-footed player. He likes to run with the ball. He drives at players. He's a big, powerful runner. And he's from Ireland. So he was born in Dublin. And I don't like to compare players to other players because each player is kind of unique. But the eye test kind of says that he's a very similar player to Chidozie Ogbene, a player we have famously not managed to replace since selling him to Ipswich right at the end of the summer transfer window. He's a good age, he's 24, he's going to be 25 next month, and his trajectory in the English game has been extreme. Just 18 months ago, he was playing for Halifax Town, absolutely tearing it up, and I watched a great highlight package of that. God, I don't miss those pictures, although the Kenilworth Road pitch at the moment is starting to look like it did back in the non-league days. Obviously, I'm joking, because in the non-league days, the pitch was horrendous. It literally looks like a potato field, whereas now there are still patches of grass. It's just the bits by the touchline are getting a bit worn down, and there are parts that are cut up. However, we have a few weeks now without a home game, so hopefully Dickie Bird and the rest of the ground staff can get it looking a-okay. Regardless, I've gone off on a tangent here. I'm excited. I really am, because with this new system, the 4-2-3-1, wide players are kind of lacking at this moment in time. Jacob Brown's been tried out on the right. Tahith Chong is injured on the left. We've just signed Thello Asgard. I'd imagine he's going to play in the 10 behind the striker. And chance creation is not our issue. It really isn't. Just look at the numbers. Elijah Adebayo has one of the highest XGs in the division, and he has missed the most chances in the division. We are creating chances. These aren't just chances created, by the way. These are big chances missed. So Elijah Adebayo is having a season to forget. And look, I have backed Elijah so many times. I really have. I'm a massive fan of Elijah Adebayo. However, just this season, something just isn't right. So what do we get with Ali? We get a player that will cut in off either flank, and he loves a shot. He has a right old shot on him, and they tend to be cut-ins, bend them rounds. There was a absolutely fantastic goal that he scored in, I don't even know what it is called, the Virtue Trophy. It's sort of like the FA Trophy, but whatever sponsorship that is these days. And he scored the goal of the round, which was a brilliant cut in from the right flank with his left foot. Nothing but stanchion. It was a sublime goal. And he's continued doing that with Exeter. So he joined towards the end of the 23-24 season at Exeter, and he did all right, averaging a goal a game. Yes, there are still some very raw attributes to his game, but that will happen when you've climbed the football pyramid so quickly. And sometimes those raw attributes are good. Cast your mind back to Enoch Shawomni. We picked him up from Wealdstone, and he was as raw as it gets. Defenders didn't know how to defend against Enoch Shawomni, because ultimately, when the ball was at Enoch's feet, Enoch didn't even know what he was going to do with it. Whereas Millenic, he is a powerful runner from what I've seen, and his goal output in a below average Exeter team that is currently languishing 17th place in League One, he scored 9 goals. Yes, this has been a purple patch where he scored 7 goals in the past 8 or 9 games, but that just shows he's in form. And right now, in the states that Luton Town are in, we need players coming in that are in form. It's great that we've signed so many players, and we try to bring in players who are in form. Fellow Asgard, in form, played every game this season. Millenic Alli, in form, and has played most of the games this season. When you take these players who are in form and you put them into a team that are completely bereft of confidence, one of two things will happen. Either they raise the entire team, and it also encourages players who are competing for these positions with the likes of Asgard, with the likes of Ali. It pushes them to up their game and stop sulking that they got relegated from the Premier League 6 months ago. It will collectively raise everything. As they say, a rising tide raises all boats, or something like that. I must have got that wrong. Someone please put that that colloquialism in the comments. It might not even be colloquialism. What is that? The saying. Put the saying in the comments below if I've got that wrong. It can have a very positive effect on the players that are currently not performing, or these players that have just come in can, I don't want to say drag the team through, but we can rely on moments of magic. A player that's boosted and is really enthused by having signed probably the biggest professional contracts of his life in the likes of Ali, he will be filled with a desire to prove himself. If he gets his chance coming on in the 70th minute or even the 80th minute, as soon as he gets the ball, what he's going to do, he's going to drive at the defenders. He's going to do what he can. He's going to drive, he's going to shoot, he's going to try and impress. And that is what we need right now. Just speaking about Ali and Asgard as well, what they do that no one else in our team is doing right now, they take shots from outside the box. And Ali in particular, he has a good knack of getting his shots on target. He has an XG of 5, but he scored 9 goals in the league. So he's overperforming his XG in the sense that the XG just shows the chances that he is taking are way more difficult than he would be expected to score. And that's because they are mostly long ranges. If you're watching the highlights against Leyton Orient where they lost 6-2, yes, he scored 2 headers, which is good, by the way, very good. And the first one of which was really interesting because he put his body on the line to win that header. And playing on the right wing, he ghosted into the back post to win that header. Bravery, positioning, the desire to get his head to the ball. And he can whip in across as well. However, that brings me on to my next point. We need someone else in the middle receiving these crosses. We have created a lot of chances this season. And ultimately, the problem is Elijah Adebayo not firing. I've already said that. Carlton Morris as well. He looks a shadow of the player. So that brings me on to the point. We need 2 more players. Look, we got rid of Alan Campbell. That's fair. That's fine. He wasn't even in the squad. So he's gone. But we lost Tom Krause. And Tom Krause, 2 goals, 4 assists. That is creativity from midfield that we are just lacking. And we cannot just substitute that with Thello Asgard or with a misfiring Jacob Brown or an injured Tahith Chong or a very raw Millenic Alli. We need 2 more signings. I said that when we announced Cal Naismith. We need 2 more signings now. I said we needed 5. We got 3 in. I would say we need a central midfielder and we need a striker. And look, we have been going very publicly after Richard Kone. I'm not saying Richard Kone is the answer. However, he has played under Matt Bloomfield. He's also a very raw talent that's only had pretty much 1 season in professional football. But again, he's on form. He's confident. He's played under Matt Bloomfield. And he can't do any worse than Elijah Adebayo and Carlton Morris right now. But regarding the central midfielder to replace Kraus, I'd like to go like for like. We got to get a loan, a top league loan. So we have to go to the Premier League, find a midfielder that we can slot in, because it's, with all the money that we're throwing at Richard Kone right now, chasing him, trying to win him over, we need to bring in a Premier League loan. It's been a repetitive thing this season. Almost every game we've played in, we have been torn an absolute new one by Premier League loanees every single time. So it's very frustrating that we haven't got one. We need that. We do have options in the middle of the park, but right now it's Marv and someone else in the double pivot. Marv and Fanny, Marv and Clark, Marv and Pelly, Marv and Walsh, Marv and Baptiste, the friendly ghost. There's a huge drop off. There really is. And we can't rely on Marvellous Nakamba to play every single game. So that brings me to the point that we need a central midfielder as well. If we can get a central midfielder and we get a striker, then I would say it's as good a window as we could have hoped for. But right now, we have options in the wide positions. We're all set, what with Ali coming in, Asgard, Isaiah Jones. To be honest, we're all set. We are all set. Even Jordan Clark can do a job behind Thello Asgard in the pecking order, but I'd imagine Jordan Clark is going to be deputising next to Marvellous Nakamba until we get someone else in. But we'll see what happens with the transfer window. We'll be doing a phone-in at 9 p.m. Monday night to bring the transfer window to a close. I hope you can all join us. But as always, remember, hit that like button and subscribe if you're watching this and you're not subscribed. I don't know why you're not subscribed if you're watching this, because we do a lot of these. It's fantastic. Whenever there's a new signing, you get my face up on your phone or your computer talking, giving my opinions about the new signings. But as always, come on, you Hatters.